if you're not asking good questions, or if you're asking probably bad negative questions, you're going to get bad negative results. What would your sales process be like if you could guide your customers' attention and focus? Would you make more deals? What would it be like if you could guide them into making a decision? What would it be like if you could get in their mind and control the exact direction of their thinking? Think about this for a second. Think about it for a second, using it upon yourself. What if you could guide and direct your own personal attention and focus and thinking? What would that be like for you? Would you make more deals? Would you be more effective? Would you be more positive? Here's the thing. When I first got into the door-to-door space, I'd get the objection, not interested. I've learned now it's just a smokescreen. Someone throws that out to try and get rid of unprepared salespeople. So I would ask them, what aren't you interested in? I'm not interested in you. I'm not interested in your product. I'm not interested in anything. They give me a whole list of things that they weren't interested in because I asked them the simple question, what aren't you interested in? I've since learned how to be able to deflect that and be able to overcome that objection without even answering it or acknowledging it. But here's the idea, is the Jedi mind trick allows you to control the focus and the thinking of your client and your prospect. Inside of a sales context, you always want to be in firm control. If they're asking you questions, what happens to you? You're reeling backwards and you're asking the question and you're answering the question. Now here's the thing, if you're answering the question, you're no longer in control, they are. The idea behind this is whatever question you ask your prospect is going to guide their attention and their focus. Think about it. What did I do when we just opened this video? What questions did I ask you? Here's the idea. You should have at least been thinking about it. If you didn't, you were probably like, just get to the answer, give me the answer so I can stop watching. But here's the idea, is you were probably considering, or how would my sales go? Or how would this be if I knew that I had this particular power? And by the way, every single person on this planet has this power. The people that ask the best questions are the people that are going to guide and direct their customers towards making a good decision. There's another idea as well with this, is just the question-based selling, which is what I do, which is what I had to learn to do, because before then I would just give statements and I would give information and I would tell them, hey, you need this, this, and this, and I give them all this information, which could be disputed, and it also leaves the customer thinking, well, is this true or not true? Then they put it through that filter, the gatekeeper, otherwise known as their mind, and they gatekeep this, and then they decide whether or not they're going to believe it or accept it or not. But here's the idea, if you ask them the question and they give you the answer to it, then they've actually guided themselves along the route. And the idea behind this is that you just have to ask better questions. Ask better questions, get better answers. The whole idea is a breadcrumb trail. The whole idea of this hypnotic series is to lead the customer to come to the conclusion themselves that going forward with your product or service is the decision that they want to make. Now, by asking very explicit questions to your client, you're guiding and directing them. It's like a breadcrumb trail. You're guiding and directing them. They just pick up the breadcrumb and eat it, and they continue to find the trail along the way. So the idea behind this is if you're not asking good questions, or if you're asking probably bad negative questions, you're going to get bad negative results. The same holds true for yourself. What kind of questions are you asking yourself? When you don't get that deal, are you asking yourself, why didn't I get that deal? You get a whole list of reasons. It's because you're stupid, it's because you're dumb, it's because you messed up, it's because you are a mess up. Or do you ask yourself, what can I learn from that? What could I have done better that I could have actually gotten the sale closer to the finish line or gotten past the finish line? What kind of quality questions are you asking yourself? Because at first it starts with you before you can employ this and deploy this on your prospects. Asking yourself very explicit questions that are going to guide you and direct your attention and focus is the first step of these things. Most of the time, most people are asking themselves stupid, unresourceful questions. And they're going to ask their customers unresourceful, stupid questions that are going to guide and direct their attention into something that they don't want. The idea is the breadcrumb trail. You want to be able to guide and direct their focus. The better the question, the better the outcome. The better the question, the better the quality of your conversations. And it goes for yourself as well. This is the Jedi mind trick, because if somebody asks you a question, what are you going to think about? You're going to think about the answer. This is an embedded command given plainly, given consciously, because now you're asking that specific question. Think about it when anybody asks the questions, and those who are asking the questions are in control. So obviously, if you know the questions your customer already has, you ask them a question regarding them to lead them, to get them on the breadcrumb trail. If you ask somebody, that lost their keys. Where was the last place that you remember seeing your keys? They're going to think about specifics. Okay, what was I doing? Where did I see them? Where do I remember putting them? The same thing that you're asking your prospect. I like to get them to imagine. I like to implant ideas inside their mind and get them thinking along the benefits or the outcomes of my particular product or service. I'm always going to guide them. And in fact, I'm working with an HVAC company right now. Never sold HVAC, but I'm sure as heck can be able to help them in their sales processes. I was listening to a transcript, I was listening to this audio call, and I have trained the owner on exactly what to ask. And the technician called her and said, hey, this customer wants a discount. He's wondering if we have any discounts. His wife isn't home, he needs to talk to his wife, and she asked a very explicit question, very good question, absolute phenomenal question. She asked, how happy would your wife be if she came home and the sink was fixed? And you know what he said? She'd be pretty dang happy. Okay then, just give me your credit card and we'll get this service taken care of. It was one of those savage moments when I had actually trained somebody and then watched this live, and watch what happened, the outcome, what happened with the outcome. The guy didn't no longer ask for discounts and was stalling because his wife wasn't there. He was actually thinking about how happy his wife was going to be when she got home and the sink was taken care of. And that's exactly what happened. Now, obviously you got a lot of value out of this, didn't you? And obviously you can see yourself employing this and doing this and getting better results. And I would really hope that you're actually going to try this on yourself and notice when you're asking yourself ineffective questions. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create decision momentum. I'm going to show you how to create momentum that is so strong and is such a strong force for the customer to act contrary. It would be like swimming upstream. Tune in.